Fast food may be fast, but its effects on your health are anything but fleeting, especially when it comes to the ultra-processed starches lurking in nearly every item on the menu. From the soft white burger buns to the crispy coating on chicken nuggets and the golden, salty fries, these foods are built on refined carbohydrates that have been stripped of almost all their natural nutrients, modified for shelf life, and engineered to trigger addiction-like responses. While the meat, fat, or sugar content of fast food often draws the most criticism, the starchy foundation is just as dangerous, if not more, due to its deceptive simplicity and overwhelming presence in nearly every meal. What makes these starches so harmful is the degree to which they've been industrially manipulated. The grains used in burger buns, wraps, fried batters, and even some salad toppings are refined to the point of being nutritionally bankrupt, with the bran and germ removed, leaving behind a white, rapidly digested flour that breaks down into glucose almost instantly in your bloodstream. This causes blood sugar spikes that are often more intense than eating table sugar, followed by sharp insulin surges and inevitable crashes. It's a metabolic disaster that, when repeated daily, as it often is in fast food routines, promotes insulin resistance, visceral fat gain, and the early development of type 2 diabetes. But it doesn't stop there. These starches aren't just refined, they're ultra-processed, meaning they are often treated with chemical additives, bleaching agents, emulsifiers, and preservatives to enhance texture, prolong shelf life, and ensure uniformity. This transforms what could have been simple carbohydrates into synthetic, inflammatory compounds that the body struggles to recognize and digest. The crispy coating on nuggets and the fluffiness of a bun come at the cost of consuming dozens of unpronounceable ingredients that can disrupt gut health, irritate the immune system, and contribute to systemic inflammation. These ingredients have no nutritional purpose. They're there to manipulate texture, appearance, and addictiveness. Fries, one of the most common sides in the fast food industry, may seem like a harmless indulgence, but in truth, they're a concentrated source of starch, oxidized oils, and chemical flavorings. The potatoes are often pre-fried in industrial seed oils, frozen, and then fried again at high heat, producing acrylamides, carcinogenic compounds that form when starchy foods are exposed to extreme temperatures. The result? A crispy, golden, toxic time bomb that floods the bloodstream with sugar, inflammatory fats, and chemical residues that can damage cellular DNA and accelerate aging processes. And while fast food chains often highlight calorie counts or fat content to appear transparent, they rarely draw attention to the glycemic impact or the hidden starch load in their offerings. A large order of fries and a sandwich on a white bun can easily contain 100 grams or more of rapidly absorbed starch, enough to overwhelm even a healthy metabolism, let alone someone already struggling with weight, insulin sensitivity, or cardiovascular risk. It's a silent overload, masked by convenience and flavor, but the toll is measurable: increased triglycerides, insulin resistance, and eventually, chronic metabolic disease. Another overlooked consequence is that these starch-heavy meals are deeply unbalanced. They crowd out fiber, antioxidants, minerals, and healthy fats, leaving the body undernourished and hormonally dysregulated. After eating a fast food combo, the quick blood sugar rise may provide temporary energy or satisfaction, but it's followed by a crash that drives fatigue, cravings, and overeating. This is not just a bad habit. It's a biochemical trap engineered by food scientists to keep you coming back. Moreover, addiction is part of the design. The combination of sugar from starch, salt, and fat, especially in ultra-processed formats, triggers dopamine responses in the brain similar to those seen in drug dependency. This is why it's so hard to eat just one fry or stop after half a burger. The ultra-processed starches amplify the brain's reward circuitry, creating a feedback loop of cravings and compulsive eating behavior that feels emotional but is actually physiological. Over time, this leads to desensitization of the reward pathways, making natural foods taste bland and unsatisfying by comparison. Long-term consumption of these ultra-processed starches doesn't just put you at risk for obesity and diabetes. It increases the likelihood of non-alcoholic fatty liver disease, hypertension, mood instability, and even cognitive decline, as insulin resistance begins to affect the brain's ability to process glucose efficiently. Children and teenagers who grow up eating these foods are especially vulnerable, with early onset weight gain and behavioral problems often linked to the blood sugar instability and nutritional deficiencies baked into every processed starch-filled meal. In short, the real threat in fast food isn't just the meat or the fries. It's the industrial starches that form the base of nearly every menu item. They're designed for shelf life, not human life. They degrade metabolic health, encourage overeating, and leave behind a trail of inflammation, addiction, and chronic disease. And because they're so ingrained in daily habits, cheap, fast, tasty, and available everywhere, they're also among the hardest to escape. But if there's one element of the modern diet worth scrutinizing and replacing, it's the ultra-processed starches masquerading as harmless carbohydrates. They're not feeding your body, they're breaking it down from the inside out.